everyone. I'm glad you're all coming into the room now. I'm going to wait a minute before I do my entry ensemble. We'll just let more people come in. Great. Missouri's in the house. Say hi, say where you're from. It's always nice when we can connect in this digital arena virtually, but heart-centeredly together in the 5D. Iowa's here, Texas is here, fabulous. Cambridge is here, you're with me. Massachusetts, the Netherlands, lovely, lovely. Double Texas, go big. Fabulous. All right. Yeah, thank you. Hi. Good to see you. I'm so excited to do this with you all today. I'm just going to wait another 10 seconds or so, and then I'm going to get into my little script. All right. So, I am Laura West, and I am in my holistic healing office in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and you are with me in this arena. Welcome. I am a Reiki master teacher. I'm trained in 3 different lineages, and I'm currently practicing and teaching from a Japanese perspective. I am also a psychic medium since birth and a channel for the divine, and that's what we're doing here today. I'm going to channel the Council of Light for you, the group of divine light beings that have been coming through me since about 2010. And I'm also an herbalist, and I mostly work with essential oils because they're quick and effective. And so in my client practice, in my holistic healing office, I see people virtually online, and I see people in person for both Reiki sessions and spiritual psychic guidance. I call it spiritual guidance sessions because I am not the 1-900 tell you the lottery numbers and tell you who you're going to marry on what kind of day kind of psychic, because if I had that ability, ladies and gentlemen, I would give myself all the money. Thank you very much. So I do more of a heart-led understanding of intuitive stuff with folks, and it's usually about things like crossroads in lives and new goals to attain, and I just had this crazy experience. What was that all about? What does spirit or source or my angels or my guides have to say about that? Can you help me flesh that out? And I do all of that from this room. I've been on vacation this past July. I was away for the entire month at my family's lake house. And I got to paddleboard every day and run every day and do cardio every day and do yoga in a special way every day. I was out in Michigan learning yoga in a special way for a while during that trip. I left the vacation to do a retreat, and then I went back to the vacation. And now I'm here, which is nice, and I am with you. So the way this works is the Council of Light are this group of divine light beings, and they come through my voice box. I'm going to close my eyes in a minute, and they're going to start talking to you. And I don't usually have a sense of what they're going to say. They are a part of my life. I do this all the time. I can slip into a slipstream of channeling them in the grocery store or at the car wash or buying gas at the gas station for anybody, but I usually don't because I have ethical boundaries. Most people that are out living their lives, doing their errands and their shopping don't want to hear from me in a psychic sense in that capacity and being surprised. So I keep them to just this arena or in the spiritual guidance sessions that you all are welcome to attend. My business is Divine Lotus Healing, so you can find me that way. But today we're here in this arena together. So I'm going to close my eyes and let them speak, and then when they're done, I will come back and I'll do the little debrief with you all about what it was like, and we'll move on with our day. Sound good? No further ado, let's get started. I don't mess around, folks. I jump right in. Canadian prairies are here. Nice job. Good job. Okie doke, here we go. So I can't see your comments or your hearts, obviously, with my eyes closed, but when I come back, we'll do more of those together. Greetings to you all, you bright, blessed beings there on that earth plane. We are the Council of Light, and we are here once again to say hello. And how do you do? We have wisdom to share with you. We come from far and wide, through the ether, through the cosmos, through all of the divine stars that shine from up above, and the source of all energy that you know and love. We are individual entities, individual focused points of light, individual understandings with consciousness that shine very bright. And when we come to you through the voice box of this woman here, we choose to come as a consciousness of we. We are one unit of energy, the Council of Light. We are pinpricks, we are vibrations, we are essence, we are holy sacred source, and we are divine. And we have been tasked by the utmost, the all, the ever-giving, the eternal energetic frequency to support you on your journeys in your human lifetimes. We do also support other consciousnesses in other realms with other understandings of how they are working and moving forward on their continuums, but you don't know them. You think of them as UFOs or aliens, and some of them are what you know, and some of them are even beyond that. We're not here to talk about that with you today. We just say that as an illustration to let you know that we are working with a vast array of consciousness as it moves forward on its continuum of learning and growing, of loving and knowing. And that is what you are all doing in each of your lifetimes when you come to the earth plane, repeatedly, over and over and over. Most of the time, you come as humans. Sometimes some of you want to become animals or spirit essence in nature form, but most of the time you want to be human, and you repeat karmic lessons, and you share joys and sorrows, and you burn through ties and cords and energy frequencies, and you harmonize and you uplift and you align, and you dance and you pray and you play. Those are the essences of your abilities on the earth plane as you incarnate in each human form. Each time you come back, you're smarter, you're wiser, you're that much farther down the continuum of learning and growth, or not. Sometimes you choose not to learn a lesson in a lifetime, and guess what? It comes back in the next lifetime as an opportunity to learn again. So you may experience hardship, or pain, or suffering, or sorrow. This isn't to browbeat you. This isn't to masterfully craft you into a sorrowful, pitiful being or small creature. This is to give you the opportunity to grow from hardship into joyfulness, and aha awakenedness comes the growth. So in this lifetime, some of you have been calculating as we have been talking, yep, I've got 27 tick boxes of hard, and man, has it been a doozy. Well, good for you. In this lifetime, you signed up to choose all of them all at once. You might not know that about yourself, but before you incarnated in this lifetime, you said, yep, let this be the lifetime where I get it all. I want to burn through it and move forward. Some of you, on the other hand, have had joyfulness repeatedly over and over and over, and a contented lifetime. This is because you are either resting between learnings in lifetimes and you're taking a break, or you're karmically tasked with having a joyful life because in the past, maybe you weren't as joyful. Maybe you were burdened with tough stuff or sorrow. And so you have been given the opportunity to learn joy after the tough stuff. Some of you are partnered with other people in your human relationships, in partnerships that help you move forward on your journey through this lifetime in a loving capacity, a life mate of sorts. Some of you have had many, some of you have had one who has been long and true, and some of you have not experienced that yet, or at all in this lifetime. We will now discuss the ones that you are in relationship with that are the long and true, because there are so many representations of those iterations. You might have met when you were young. You might have carried yourselves through each of your stages of your development in your early 20s, moving out of the nest of the parental bodies into your own identities, into your 30s where you were starting to lay down roots and couple together, into your 40s as you built your equity and you grew your finances and your wealth, Wealth we mean as more than just money. Wealth we mean as spiritual sanctity and daily gratitude as well. Into your 50s, after maybe children came and you've raised them and they're moving into the college stage, into your 60s where you look at each other and you say, wow, we've been together a long time. What do we have to do now? Let's surf, as the woman whose voice box we're coming through calls, the back nine, together in this lifetime. And then into your 70s, as you glide towards something that some of you know as retirement, and you move into other spaces and arenas of working and balancing and being fulfilled. And then into your 80s, as you slow down and you hold hands in the proverbial rocking chairs on the front porch of your lives. And then in your 90s, if you're lucky, because most humans don't live into your 90s, some do. And there are spaces of hotspot zone around the earth plane where some live many decades longer than their 90s. But most of you live into your 80s, and you hold hands with your loved one, your life mate, your partner, and you say, job well done. We did it. We were happy and we were joyful and we met all our goals. Or not. Some of them maybe we didn't get to. And then you expire into the ether, into your spirit essence form. And that kind of lifetime is a rare one. That kind of lifetime is a very rare one. Because most humans are distraught. Most humans are distracted. Most humans are egocentrically minded. Most humans come with suffering and sorrow and patterning and trauma and negativity and dysfunctionality as children into adult lives. And most humans cannot understand the relationship of calmness and sanctity and peacefulness, which actually to the outside world looks quite like boredom. There is no fanfare. There is no jazziness. There is no Hollywood lights and stardom for the relationship to go so many decades in a comfortable, cohabitable space. And yet it does. And many people say, oh, aren't they so sweet? That's so lovely. And yet it should be championed far beyond what people say as typicality or normalcy, or an avatar towards which they wish they could get to themselves. Some of you, on the other hand, are looking for life mates, or you're with life mates that have chafing sandpaper around the edges. This is okay too. Stop being so critical. Stop being so functionally diverse with what you expect out of a human being, and take the first one who looks you in the eye and says, gosh, you're a really nice person. I care about you deeply. I think you're beautiful. I come with my foibles. I'm a human too. But let's hold hands and walk tried and true. Take that first person, or second or third, as some of you have learned, and try and walk that long generational arch together in coupledom, in a cohabitation of compatibility, in an ease and a grace of a gentle hug of relationship with that person. They might have foibles of their own, they might have dysfunctionality of their own, but you can work through it. Learn new policies, learn new systems of operation, learn new ways of speaking to each other, together as a couple. And your arc of being human and in relationship with a devoted soul right back at you, mirroring towards you, can happen functionally. There are a lot of people in human form that come with stories into their adult lives, stories of brokenness, stories of strife, stories of sickness or trauma or dysfunctionality. And it is from long ago. And it is worn like a cloak, like a badge of honor. Look at how much I suffer. Look at how much sorrow and pain there is for me. I am weary and downtrodden under the weight of this difficult energy that I carry like a yoke, like a burden in my energy frequency. And they don't know how to get rid of it. They can't release it because negative energy Stressful energy, suppressive energy, dysfunctionality energy is heavier, denser, darker, thicker than love, joy, lightness, happiness, spontaneity, calmness. That energy floats up around the crown. And the energy that we are speaking of dysfunctionality, is so oppressively weighted on the body, inside the organs, through the muscle structure, in and around the energy frequency of the physicality, that it feels like you're wearing a weighted vest. And humans who have this experience don't even realize that it can be released. It can be unzipped and taken off. And the happiness and the joyfulness and the light-filledness and the sparks of positivity can begin to take its place. There is a neuroplasticity of the brain that science is beginning to correspond with how we're speaking today. There are telomeres on the ends of synapses in the brain that grow longer, thus increasing your lifespan, the more you are calm and centered and harmonious and joy-filled and the like. And there are specific meditations that some of your scientists and your meditation teachers and your gurus and your swamis and all the like have known for a long time, and they have been teaching for a long time. We don't subscribe as the Council of Light to just one way. We always have told you in every iteration of every message that we've ever come through this space to talk to you, find the one that works for you, whether it be yoga or meditation or prayer or mantra or singing or dance, it doesn't matter, or something we haven't mentioned, it doesn't matter. Find the one or the two or the three or the handful that work for you and utilize them over and over and over. As positivity shifts, as joyfulness markers, as pendulum swingers from dense dark to joyful light. Oftentimes, you ride high, you try a new thing, and you say, yeah, this is great, it works for me, I love it. And then it wears off the shiny newness, and it becomes typical, and you lose your stamina. You lose your spark of ingenuity to keep at it, day in and day out. What you need to cultivate as a human in that instance is a routine. A script for how you function in your daily life, day after day after day. You eat the fruit, not the chocolate, day after day after day. You eat the healthy vegetables, not the popcorn, day after day after day. You have to cultivate your mind in the same way, day after day after day. Approach it like your routine scripts of brushing your teeth and making your beds and wearing clean clothing and eating robust, healthy food every day, functionality-wise for your bodies. You must begin to cultivate the understanding of neuroplasticity movement into the pendulum swing of light and bright as a cultivated routine that is non-negotiable. Especially when you are finding something that works and you love it, and then it becomes ho-hum because you've done it 67,000 times and you're suddenly bored. Don't drop the ball. Do not fall off the bandwagon. Or if you do, notice, oh, I stopped doing it. I gotta go back to it. Pick yourself up, put yourself back on, and engage in the routine again. It's okay to have variation throughout your lifetime. There are many chapters of your lives, many decades that you go through, where you align with different understandings or different practices or different teachers or different experiences. We don't mean to suggest that you need to have just one singular thing that you adhere to for 70 years. You are a creature of curiosity and wonderment, and you will continue seeking out and finding the refinement that is going to meet you where you are in your journey across lifetimes. Notice that we didn't say the next best thing, because that is all flashy and new. And we don't mean to suggest that you need to seek and search and find forever, because that is a form of dysfunctionality in and of itself. Rather, what we mean is, as you go through your decades and you become refined and you become mature and you become competent in this thing called being alive in this lifetime, you reach sophistication levels that are individually tweaked for each one of you, that are very different from when you started out when you were new. Way back in your childhood years, your teenage years, your young formative adult years. And it takes sometimes some tweaking and some selective programming and some nuanced understanding of routines and practices to bring you forward into where you want to be as a next step. And so as you go, perhaps you're practicing movement of the body for quite a long time, and then you realize suddenly, or after a while, I would prefer to do some sound of the body. And so you move into prayer or mantra or chant. And the yoga of the body, the movement of the body, the dance of the body becomes calmed for a while. Or maybe it's still present, but it's the second thing you do. And the sound of the body is the first thing you do. You see what we're saying? We invite you now, as we are speaking to you here today in this way, to cultivate an awareness of the things that you have done in your past, the things that you are currently doing, and the things that you think you would like to try doing in the future. And bring them all into a space, into a place of harmony right in front of you in your energy frequency, and hold them in your energy, in your ether, in your vibrational footprint. And notice, is the thing that you did 20 years ago still valid for you to be doing today? Is the thing that you are doing today, or the things, but we're just asking you to pick one as a selection for this moment and this time being, is it valid? Is it reasonable? Is it serving your needs right now? And then open to wonder, open to the excitement of the possibilities of potential new for your future. Are there things that you've always wanted to try? Are there things that maybe a friend or a companion has done or they're doing currently, and you notice that they are talking about it with positivity? Maybe that's something that you want to lean into. Watch for the synchronicities of your lives. Pay attention to the small ahas. Pay attention to the gut knowings. Those are the compasses that point you in the right direction and lead you from anchor to anchor to anchor. When you start to pay attention to the synchronicities of things showing up in your life, or nods, or spokens, or reads, do it. Listen to the spokens. Read the reads. And then those lead you down a breadcrumb trail of more ahas, more knowings, more understandings, more growings. And then you suddenly notice, oh, I'm along my continuum even farther. I've moved my needle, my compass, my source point. And that is always how you must navigate your lives. You try and do these cerebral routines where you think about cleaning the bathroom and going grocery shopping and folding the laundry by 4 p.m. and picking up the children and getting the dog washed and hada, yada, yada, yada. Yes, those things are technically important on a day-to-day basis, but what you all need to cultivate in a much more companionable fashion is listening to the heart and listening to the gut. The gut mind knows. The heart mind knows. And they are constantly looking, they are constantly seeking, they are constantly listening for those little sprinkles, those little awarenesses, those little ahas. So you might be on a social media platform and an advertisement comes up for a course to take, and you say, oh, I've always wanted to learn that. Oh my gosh, look into it and sign up for it. Or maybe an advertisement comes up somewhere for a book in a content area that you're like, hey, so-and-so was just talking to me about that the other day. How strange that that just popped up. Not strange. Universal design. Listen to it, focus on it, check the book out of the library or buy it on your Amazon and read it. Do it. Don't delay. Those types of synchronicities, those types of entrances into the deep end of the pool of your sanctuaries, your sacrednesses, they become more clear. They become more touchstone frequencies day after day after day, hour after hour after hour, moment by moment by moment, until you're living in a sacred slipstream, a frequency of divine connection all the time. And what happens to those telomeres? Yes, they grow longer. and you live into your 80s and your 90s and your 100s. We're making a generality point here, but you understand what we're saying. Because so many of you live from that frontal cerebral place of negotiating routines and taking care of others and rubriced processes that are mentally in the forefront of your physicalness. And not enough of you live from that space of sacred divine slipstream. That's why you come and you sit in rooms like this. It's why you come and listen to words like this. It's why you come and seek out the people that are like this, because they know how to live in that sacred divine slipstream at all times. We're not suggesting to you that your world is going to be all roses and happy fairies and lucky charms when you live from this place. No. Your earthbound lives are still full of surprises and upheavals and uh-ohs and whoopses and oh-nos and oh gosh, this is so hard, and sadnesses. But when you live from the sacred slipstream of what we've been speaking of here, you can navigate those difficult times with much more ease and grace and competency. And they don't stop you in your tracks for very long, if they even stop you at all. Again, we will say very clearly that there is not one right way to do this. There is not one author, there is not one musician, there is not one speaker, there is not one sacred slipstream performer. Go to where you feel your compass moves. Go to where you feel heart-led, where your gut intuition says, yes, this is right for me in this moment at this time. This feels holy. This feels sacred. This feels divine. You can even start to do it with the food that you put in your body. You can even start to do it with the clothing that you wear. You can even start to do it with the way that you dwell inside your houses. Some of you have a lot of items and physical stuff, and that is appropriate for the way that you want to live your life. And then some of you want to become less hampered and more minimalistic, if you will. And that is also okay. There is not one right way to live your life in your capacity. What you do in your house is different than what your neighbor does in their house, and both are okay. But you need to begin to tune in to the sacred slipstream of your lives to say, is this a yes or is this a no? Is this a positivity or a negativity? Is this a stressor or a hardship or a weighted downness, or is this an upliftedness? Does it bring you joy to eat watermelon? Does it bring you joy to eat a little bit of chocolate? Does it bring you joy to work out every single day? Does it bring you joy to make your bed? Does it bring you joy to lounge at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and read a magazine with no end in sight? Does it bring you joy to brush your children's hair? Does it bring you joy to walk the animal, the pet? Maybe there are functionalities that we have just mentioned, and you can delight in them. And then you have these little dopamine hits of delight after delight after delight, day in and day out, and your life becomes, yes, delightful. So, dear humans, we've touched upon this in other iterations and past messages before, but we wanted to bring it up to you again once more because there are so many pendulum swings that are stuck in human lives, in hardship and frequencies of negativity or sadness or sorrow, and it doesn't need to be that way. You can release that slowly. You can release that quickly. You can do the emotional, the psychic, the psychoanalytical, the etheric, the mental work to move your needles. And as a reminder, we are always here, coming to you from the great beyond, the up above, the all around, and the osmosis of through you, Energetic frequency knows no space and time boundary. We come all the time, and yet we are here just once, speaking just this one time through this one voice box in this one way, and yet it repeats its cycle over and over and over all the time throughout all the eons of knowingness and all space-time continuum. That's for an esoteric learning of another time and another day, but we come back to you repeatedly as humans to remind you how to live good lives and to be happy and joyful, and to be pleasant to yourselves and to your fellow humans. Because you have a lifetime where you have opportunity to try, to move the needle, to shift, to outgrow things that are no longer yours, and to move forward into things that are new. That is what is so curious about being a human. You get to try things on and wear things as experiences and knowings and knowledge and frequency. Everything is frequency. Everything is frequency. And it's up to you to determine, to discern, is this frequency serving me to my highest good? The vibrational frequency of the food that I put in my body, the vibrational frequency of how I keep my home, the vibrational frequency of the relationships I cultivate with others and with myself. The vibrational frequency of the work that I do in this world, and how I interact with others in and through the daily routines. Think about those things for yourselves in the coming days, weeks, months, years, decades, and always look towards the light positivity, not in a rosy Pollyanna way, but in an authentically joyful way. And we will be here by your side, championing you along this ride called your life. And we will continue to come through the voice box of this woman here, as we have done many a year. She said okay when we showed up. She didn't know we were coming. She just knew it was a vibrational pull to yes. Speak. Let the consciousness of something greater than yourself come out of your voice box. And she's been doing it for so long that it has become what? Yes, routine. Does she sometimes get bored? Yes, she does. As a human, listening to us say the same things in different iterations over and over and over for decades to all of you humans, she wants you all to wake up. Her ego says, get with the program, be happy. But then she pauses and she reminds herself, slow down. It's not a race. Go back to the basics. What are the basics? The gratitude and the awe that you get to be a voice box for something greater than yourself to help serve humanity, and it's part of your avatar in this lifetime. Holy moly, what a joy. And then she lets us come through and she lets us speak, and that's how she's done this day in and day out, week after week after week, year after year after year, decade after decade, into the long ladder back nine of her life. You all can too, in your own ways, and we champion you. And with that, we will take our leave today. Thank you so much for listening to our words. We are the Council of Light. We come to you ever so bright with a great blanket to encircle you and hold you ever so tight until we are to come back and give you words of wisdom once again. Until then, we wish you great blessings and many joys. Goodbye for now. Adieu and namaste. Wow. So amazing. I do get bored sometimes. The human woman. Because I've been doing it so long and it's just quote unquote normalized for me now. But then I remember, oh my gosh, the source that gets to come through me, the source that said, hey, can we come through you, and knocked on my door all those years ago, and they were like, can we talk through you? And I had no clue what was going on. I remember back. And then I think about the grandeur and how I'm a tiny, tiny speck of light, a spark of somethingness, like all the rest of you. And I get to do this with you. We get to co-create a great reality and a great enterprising positivity for ourselves. Whew. And then the joy comes, and then the gratitude comes. And the routines of setting up monthly messages are always there. It's the first Saturday of the month, Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. You know it. For those of you who come regularly, you were with me last month at the lake. Anyway, I hope that message brings you some curiosity today. I hope that message brings you some percolations of your thoughts and your thinking about where you can find those pendulum swings in your lives. The hearts are going, so I'm seeing that you're aligning. That's wonderful. The hearts light me up. And then, of course, I'm always here outside the channeled message arena. I'm in this space with you to support you if you need guidance or you want to work on energetics. You know how to find me. Just click that link in my bio. I'm always here to help you. I'm helping myself learn. I'm doing things with my own gurus and my own teachers and my own spiritual alignment that positively affect who I am as a human being, so I can turn around and do this with others. That's how humans work. Whew. All right, my loves. What a wonderful message. And great joy that was to share with you. Thank you all so much. I'm going to turn right around after this message is finished, and I'm going to put in the open alignment for September for all of you for the first Saturday of the month at 4 o'clock. Feel free to follow me here in this arena so that you can get the updates for that. And then also feel free to check me out in other arenas beyond the link that's available in my bio, because I am very active and very chatty and I share a lot. And I look forward to connecting with you in other places too. Okay? I don't want to leave you, but I'm going to say many blessings, and I will see you again next month. Back here in this space with the Council of Light. Love you all.